Thanks for joining us on the show. I am so happy to have my guest, Cassia Dawn. She is a singer songwriter, and I'm glad to have her here. She's a good friend of mine. And I want to read her description of herself on social media about her writing. She is a soul pop singer songwriter with an acoustic heart, and I love that. Her latest EP, Life is Like a Latte, is available wherever you stream music. And I am so glad, my friend, to have you here. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
It's exciting to have you in the chair with me. I'm really glad, and we're going to hear from you later. So, I want to kick things off with just a little brief
Mhm.
background. I want to
Yeah.
hear, how did you meet music?
Yeah. So the brief part's going to be really hard, by the way.
You
So
don't
feel
have to
free
be
to
that
stop.
brief. You take as long as you want.
Oh no, I just spiderweb a lot. But how I got involved in music is my family is very musical. So especially my mom's side, my all my uncles play, bass, guitar, piano. My grandma played piano.
Oh, that's amazing. I
Yeah.
did not know
Yeah.
that.
Oh, yeah. And so I just grew up with music. Holidays were really special. My
Oh,
uncles would just grab guitars and we'd all just sing carols and stuff. And so um, when I was little, I told everybody I wanted to be a singer,
okay.
and then I wanted to
Good.
be an actress, and then I wanted to be an ice skater. And then I went back to wanting to be a singer. But this time I added playing guitar. So yeah, I wrote my first song when I was like 13 and it was really bad. And consequently, the songs after that were pretty bad too. But
But you learned.
yeah, yeah, you just,
Yeah.
you kind of just have to build. Um, so
So wait, did y'all have those holidays where like the family band is sitting there together?
mhm,
That I'm
mhm.
so jealous. That is amazing.
Oh, yeah.
I was the only one at the time that played anything, and I
Mm,
would they would say, "Oh, go play some Christmas carols on the piano,"
yeah,
and it was fun, and we would gather around, and
sure.
sing occasionally, but oh my gosh, I used to see stories about people who grew up, musicians who grew up in families like that, and
Yeah.
I just always kinda had that romanticized, "Oh my gosh, how
Oh,
fun."
well,
Do y'all
sometimes
still do that?
we do. Yeah, the gatherings are a little bit smaller now,
Okay, yeah,
than they used to be just because everybody's busy, there's always a lot going on,
yeah.
but yeah, when we get together now, I feel kinda bad for my dad because he does a little drumming and stuff, but he's usually the one cooking and facilitating the gathering, so I always felt a little bad for him because he's, like, trying to get people to come and eat, and we're just, like, playing.
Oh.
Everyone is, like, so focused on the music, but yeah, it was a great thing to grow up with, and, so I feel like I was kinda naturally, um, thrown in that direction, and then, I just
What
always have
kind of
loved
music
songwriting.
did y'all play at the
Honestly,
time?
yeah, so mostly acoustic based, but one of my uncles loves rock, so there was always kind of that element in there. One of my
Love
uncles
that.
loves, I would say kind of bluegrassy, kind of kind of Johnny Cash style
Yeah,
folk, you know?
yeah.
So there was some of that in there too, but yeah, a little
Just
eclectic.
kind of everything.
Yeah.
I love that because I feel like your style of music, I love it because I feel that you have such an amazing blend of
Mm,
different styles.
thank you.
I really do. So that must be where a lot of that came from, which I didn't know that background. So that's amazing and incredible, and that you still have that you share with your
Mm,
family.
thank
And you
you.
gave your dad really good background music to cook by.
That is
There
true.
you
That
go.
is true. No complaints. I mean, I won't say that every time that we got
Mm,
together that everything always sounded great,
of
You
course
have your
not.
you
Yes.
gotta work out the kinks, but no, most of my family, they're good musicians, so
That's
most of the time it sounded
amazing.
pretty good. Yeah.
Okay, so when did you realize in life, whether it was the
Mm,
songwriting part or the artist part, when did you kind of have that realization that, oh, this is more for me than just
yeah.
hanging out, playing with the family, or writing
Mhm.
lyrics that when you were 9, you went, oh, that's not great. But
Sure.
so when did that happen for you that you really recognized, oh, this is like a passion? This is what
Yeah.
I'm meant to do either for a short time or a long time.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember? I mean, do you even know, like, kinda that moment?
Yes, there were 2 albums that were really big for me. Well, in my later in my, like, mid-teens. So one was Toby Mac's album Portable Sounds,
Ah,
and the other was Skillet's album Comatose. And when those albums came out, I think it just really strengthened. I already kind of had like I was writing at that point, and I think at that point I had played one or two little gigs, farmers
Yeah.
markets, that kind of thing.
Oh,
But I don't know. I just and also there was a program called Acquire the Fire, which is like I'm throwing some things. There's somebody watching this right now that's going to be so excited. They're like, "Oh my gosh," because it's kind of niche, but um,
so a pro on TV?
on TV.
Okay.
So
I
it
don't know about
was,
this.
yeah, it was a program
That's
that
amazing.
showed young people listening to music and like really engaging with the music. They had a lot of different things that, I mean, it's Christian based, so theirs was more like worship music and stuff.
Okay.
But I just remember seeing these teenagers just really connecting with the music. And I thought, this is what I want to do because I always
Oh.
wanted to make a difference. Like, I always wanted to change the world. I think most people my generation, they had like these huge,
Mhm.
we were told you can do anything,
Yeah.
for better
Yeah.
or worse, because my,
Yeah.
but we were told you can do anything. And so, but yeah, I'd probably be like mid teens. And also I was not a popular kid. I was a little awkward. I was homeschooled. And so I didn't really feel like I fit in with my peers. So music was kind of that thing that I went
Hmm.
to, and I
Mhm.
wanted to help be that for other people.
I love that.
Thanks.
You know, a lot of people have stories about music being very healing, whether it
Mm,
was feeling isolated or not included or bullied or whatever the situation that music is. We know it's healing, it's universal,
yeah.
and all the things. And I'm sorry for those times that you felt that in life because you're an amazing person,
Thank you.
and I'm very sorry that you ever had that. And I'm also so glad that God used it in
Yeah.
your life to for your good and for the better of other people, and that now is your heart, and it's really obvious in the things that you do and the way you write is
Mm,
that you want to make a difference, you want to touch people, and I think that can come yelling through very quiet lyrics,
yeah.
right? That I'm here, you're here, and I want to help use my music for the good of anybody else and
Sure.
yourself because it's also kind of self-healing too, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah, I love that.
I feel like that's kind of where it starts usually, is like you're
Yeah.
writing a song because you're working through something, and then it ends up, you walking through it ends up
Yeah.
helping somebody else. So it's a great gift to be able to do
That
that.
is. That is, and really appreciate the fact. I mean, you and I've been working on a song that kind of has done the same thing for
Yes.
me. And at the same time, I know I've had moments in life where I'm like, oh, I had to walk through that. I don't
Yeah.
want to help anybody.
Mm,
I mean, I don't mean that. I do want to help people. But,
yeah.
sometimes you can just feel so exhausted
Yes.
by I already experienced I
Yeah.
experienced the lonely and the awkward or whatever it is.
Sure.
And then we get that second wind to go, okay, but that's part of my journey and that's part of my
Hmm.
story is
Hmm.
I walked through it and now I want to reach out. I don't it doesn't last long, but I will confess I have those moments,
Oh, I think that's
you
totally
know.
reasonable. I
Yeah.
mean, if you think about it, when we are walking through life with other people, there is some secondary trauma that happens. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's really hard to be around people when they're going through something, especially if it hits home for us,
Yeah.
and they're, I mean, when I always joke around that I would not be a good sick person because I'm just such a baby with like I get really grumpy and snappy at people when I'm sick because I don't get sick often, so
Yeah.
I'm just like not used to it, right? There's some people who are sick and they're like so kind and patient. And so that's kind of how I feel about like life struggles, right? Like sometimes you're not always very compassionate because it still hits you a little bit. It's still a little bit raw,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah.
Um, so anyways.
I love. Okay, so when do you or do you even know what makes you feel inspired
Mm,
to write about those hard things? Is there a particular topic that comes to mind a lot
mm.
for
That-
you?
That's a really good question. I wouldn't say there's a topic that comes to mind. I would say my life philosophy comes out a lot in my writing.
Okay.
And one of my core values is always to leave people with hope
Oh,
because,
love that.
yeah, because I feel like so one of my favorite musicians of all time, his name's Matt Carney. We've talked
Yes.
about this. I'm an
Yes.
Oregonian, so but he said something, and I'm paraphrasing, but he was basically saying musicians are kind of like these people that they're like explorers. They like go into a place first
Mm,
and they shine the light, and they basically help chart a path forward through that
mm,
stuff. And and that's really hard actually, because you have to go and actually feel the emotions.
yeah.
And so but I think about it like I'm just trying to help straighten things out for people. But as far as themes go, I mean, I write all over the place. I just always want it to have some level of hope, because no matter my personal philosophy, no matter how dark things are,
Mhm.
there's always light. And often it's a matter of perspective. Like,
Oh, that is a great point.
thank
That's
you.
so
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's difficult to see often because our problems are right here. When our problems are
Mhm.
right here, that's all that we can see. So it's really nice when somebody else is able to come into that and be like, "Hey, I'm going to say you are experiencing this. This is real. This is true. Here's the truth you might not see right now."
Well, and especially if you've already walked it.
Mhm.
Or even if you've written a song about it, maybe you didn't walk through that specifically, but
Okay.
you heard maybe a story or heard about someone else who walked
Mhm.
through it, and then you can go in and explore those and do the same thing effectively, which is one of the things I love about songs
Mhm.
is just to write those lyrics. You don't ever have to experience it. It's great when you have,
Mhm.
or even if it's like, let's say you've experienced heartache and a breakup,
Sure.
and then
Never.
but then I know, right? No, none of us have. But then, you write a song, you intend this is one of the beautiful things I think about songwriting,
Yeah.
and you and I experience this together. So
Mhm.
you start out and you go, okay, right, we're gonna work on this heartbreak idea or whatever it is.
Mhm.
And then all of a sudden, you start working on it and you bring in your perspectives and you talk through it and you tell your own stories. And then all of a sudden, it becomes this totally different
Yes.
thing and a different almost topic, maybe.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think that that's a fascinating way to approach when you're putting music out there that you want to leave people with hope,
Mm. Thank you.
because that's a broad but
Mhm.
necessary thing, because we all have to have that.
Sure.
And when you can change the perspective and say, "Hey, I've been through it,"
Mhm.
or "I know somebody who has."
Mhm.
And I'm real big on too, which is kind of similar, you're not alone.
Yeah.
You it feels like it in the moment of whatever you're going through. It feels like you're the only person who's ever dealt with that,
Yeah.
but you're not.
Right.
And it doesn't make it all better for you, but sometimes it just helps to go, "Oh, somebody else has done it."
Mhm.
And I just think that that can be so helpful. And, music, just there's so many layers of why it helps us. And we don't have to go here right now, but I've been reading some stuff lately about the vagus nerve and
Oh, yeah.
anxiety
Yeah.
and humming or
Mhm.
singing. In fact, there's a singing instructor, I think, that I follow, and she posted something the other day about, what scientifically what it does and how it runs through your whole body.
Mhm.
And I just think that that's such a gorgeous tie-in to think about, even when we hear music and how it resonates in us. So I love that you offer people hope.
Well, thank
So
you.
what is I want to ask this kind of random question.
Yeah.
If you, past or present, living or dead, like
Mhm.
if you could collaborate with anyone,
Oh, man.
you have to
That's
choose one. It
that's such
doesn't
a
have to be the only, but just choose
okay.
one of who you would, like, let's just say who you would just collaborate on a song with, whatever that looks like, whether you're singing it
Okay.
together, writing, whatever.
Yes, yes. If anybody knows this person, feel free to, put my name out there. But that's a great question. I am so inspired by John Foreman. He is the lead singer of a band called Switchfoot.
Yeah.
And I love their music is very philosophical,
Yeah.
and I just love that so much. I'm that person that like if ever I'm out in nature or I'm at the beach or anything
Oh,
like that, I'm just like, what's the meaning of life? And
I
like, just
love that.
it's, well,
That's a
thank you. We need to
good
go.
place to
We need
be.
to like do some hikes and stuff because I will say it drives my friends nuts sometimes because I go into this headspace of just getting super deep and they're just like, I just want to walk. And I'm like, no, you don't understand though. Like this is so anyways, John Foreman, I just feel like I would love to sit down and write a song with him because we have kind of similar, I feel like personality wise, we're very similar. We're both people, and like I said, the whole
Yeah.
philosophy thing, and he's just be really cool. Although I will say, probably the first like hour of the co-write, I would just be like,
You're
"Ah,"
gonna be
like you know what I
fanning.
mean?
You're gonna be
Oh,
like, "Oh my
well,
gosh."
when I actually really care about someone's opinion, I get so quiet. I get like, you know what, when I'm
Oh, yeah.
like when I'm nervous, like if I like somebody, I'm not that
Yeah.
person that's like da 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 da. I'm just like super
You
shy and
kinda shut
awkward.
down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I would love to write a song with John Foreman. So there we
Okay,
go.
so maybe what you could do with him is say, "Can we have coffee first?"
There you go. Well,
And
what I
then I'm
would
gonna let you do all the talking, sir, and then after that, we'll go right, because then I'll be
yes.
maybe a little more at ease with you.
Yes. Or this is in my head, this would be ideal. Okay. Let's just have a jam. Okay.
Oh, I like
Just with the
that.
band and his family, because I would just that get that dynamic set up, and then that turns into a co-write, and
There
that'd be
you
cool.
go.
That'd be cool.
I love that. I love it.
Thanks you. Okay, so can I ask you the same question because I'm really
Oh
curious of
my
your answer.
word. Okay. Oh, yes, you can. So, when I was a kid, I'll share this with you. I
Yeah.
don't know that the answer is still true.
Okay.
It's not true, because I
Okay.
would totally fangirl over
Yeah,
this too.
but you might change your answer at some point.
But I might change my answer today just because of how life has changed with
Yeah.
writing and stuff.
Sure.
But when I was a kid, when I was like 12, 13, so my secret dream, I wanted my parents to move us to LA.
Mm.
I don't even know if this is where he lived, but I just assumed.
Mhm.
Move to LA and move in next door to Barry Manilow
Okay.
so that we could write songs and play the piano together.
That's really cool.
And so
All right, Barry.
I
You
know,
know where to
right?
find us.
Bring it. I mean, because I think he of a lifetime of music.
Yeah.
I think he is so talented
Yeah.
as a performer and a songwriter. And I had all the sheet music when I was a kid. I was
Mm.
classically trained.
Wow.
And the popular songs, I would go to the store. My mom would take me to the music store and I'd flip through, and it was a lot of his hits they
Yeah.
had there. And so I just would go, okay, I'll try those. And just the change in key. And I mean, he just had,
Mhm.
like, I don't even understand. I should know
Yeah.
more about music structure than I do, but I don't. But the fact that his songs change so subtly and you just go, oh, wow.
Yeah.
So he would be my lifetime answer.
Oh, you could probably learn a lot
I
from
know.
someone
I
that's
should,
that like expert
yep,
at their craft.
probably need to do that.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this, because you're playing a lot. You
Mhm.
play a lot of gigs. You play a lot around Nashville, and I know you go back to the Pacific Northwest and you
Mhm.
play there. What do you do, just out of
Yeah.
curiosity? How are your nerves when you play?
Mm.
Do you find that you get nervous? Do you get excited
Yeah.
nervous? And how do you deal with that?
Thank you. That's a good question. I get nervous 95% of the time.
You do?
Yeah.
Yep.
And honestly, it's really funny because the smaller the audience, the more nervous I am. There can be like two
Oh.
people in the audience and I'm like, but
Oh,
and
that makes sense though, because it's
yeah.
way more intimate.
Yes. I think people
Oh.
being focused on me, this is funny because I'm a performer, but sometimes people's exclusive focus on me
Mhm.
is stressful. Because a lot of the shows that I've played are more like in coffee shops and small venues where there is noise.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of like you're performing but it's more casual and you're able, I mean, there's like a blender going off in the background and it just somehow adds the ambiance of like I am not 100% the focus. So when I go to places and it's smaller, that's a little trickier for me. How do I deal with it? Um, I start out, this is from a tactical standpoint. I start my set list out with songs that I'm most comfortable with.
Okay, that makes
Yeah,
sense.
yeah, because I know when I'm nervous, my timing it slips a little bit, like my tempo, and all of that. So I try to start out with songs that I've just played so much that the
Yeah.
muscle memory's there.
Yeah.
That can help with the nerves. And I also just try to tell myself, like, you've played more, you've played these songs so
Yeah.
many times. And then the other thing is, and this is, I'm gonna go back to John Foreman. Um, one of my favorite things about Switchfoot and their music too is when you watch them perform, they make mistakes. Like, they're very good, but I've
Mhm.
seen them live like 12 times. So
Oh my
I'm like that
gosh.
fan, right? Um,
I hope
but
y'all
when
are paying attention. I'm just
Yeah,
saying.
yeah.
She's a fan.
But when they make mistakes, they just keep going. And it's
Yeah.
so, I don't know, it just almost feels like we're all just friends, right? Like, that's
Yeah.
how it comes
That feels way
across.
more authentic,
Yeah,
really.
yeah. So sometimes if I make mistakes, I'll just make a
Yeah.
joke, or I'll just, I don't know. It's like, at the end of the day, part of what I hope to communicate in my music is that we're all just human.
Yes.
So if I can't embody that in my performance, you know what I mean? It's like, if I feel like I have to be such a perfectionist, um, I heard a phrase recently that was, more is caught than taught. I was talking about kids, right?
Oh. Oh, I like that.
And so, I mean, I feel like it's the same with
Yeah.
what we're trying to say as musicians. If we are so in our heads and we're such perfectionists, then it's going to be really difficult for us to be like, oh, you're doing just fine. Because they're like, yeah, but you don't think that about yourself,
Yeah. Oh,
So
valid point.
yeah,
And honestly, probably I would say probably 98% of the time, people wouldn't even notice.
that is true,
It would
especially if
have
you're
to
playing
be a big,
originals.
and I've been to writers' rounds where I
Yeah.
literally had people say, okay, I'm going to start that over.
Oh gosh.
And they make the point, I have written songs for 25 years.
Right.
I've had, and there are people who are way further ahead and they've written songs for a lot of different people and they're not out there playing them all the time.
Right.
And so it's like you and I would sit there and go, that's a huge hit. How do
Right.
you not remember
Right.
those? But I actually, those are some of my favorite times to
Mhm.
listen, especially in a smaller, more intimate venue like that. So I love that that's your attitude. I think that's very healthy. And I think that that shows who you are as an artist and your
Mhm.
authenticity. And that's one of the reasons why I love listening to you. I love being your friend.
Thank you.
But I also, it just shines through in everything you do. So we're gonna have you do a song
Yeah.
today and tell us a little about the song and then the name of it, and then we'll get to hear you.
Yeah.
I'll
Okay.
try not to look.
Oh yes. Well, thank you. So this song is called "Let Me Hear the Music,"
Okay.
and I wrote it. So first off, I mean, you'll understand this. Anyone that's been a musician for any length of time would understand this. You go through periods of deep discouragement, and also just times of reinvention and times of like, okay, this isn't working. Let me pivot. Let me do something else. And so I was like in my mid-20s, and I'd went through a pretty difficult breakup, and I was working almost full time, going to school almost full time, and house sitting, which this is part of the puzzle because I don't tend to feel emotions except for when I'm by myself.
Mm.
But when I'm by myself, then it's like a freight train. So I've actually written several songs house sitting. It's kind of funny. But
Interesting.
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
because I'm just like
Yeah.
90% of the time I'm around people.
Yeah.
So then when I'm not, I'm like,
Yes.
oh, hello, for like days on end. I'm
Hello,
like,
myself.
hi, emotions that I've been
We're
hiding
here
under the.
today together by ourselves.
Exactly, exactly. So I was at this house and just got done watching the most depressing Hallmark movie, which I didn't even know those existed.
God, I wouldn't
Yeah,
have thought
like
that
in the
either.
end, the guy's dying of cancer, and in the end, like he's still dying of. I thought it was going to be a misdiagnosis. I'm like, this is on the Hallmark Channel,
Oh
like, and
no.
in the end, he's still
Yeah.
dying of. Anyways, so I was a little down.
So you're by yourself.
I'm
You
by
watch a movie
myself.
you thought was gonna bring you a little hope and joy, and it was
Yeah,
depressing.
yeah,
Oh,
and
goodness.
yeah, and at this house, it's like I have to build a fire because they had a wood fire stove, and I'm not very good at that apparently. So I had like this little space heater. So it's just like one of those things where all the things
I'm
are hitting at the
sorry.
same time. No, it is funny. That's all the things are hitting at
I'm
the same
laughing with you.
time. Yes. Oh yeah. No, I think it's hilarious now. I'm like, of course. But so I'm sitting on a couch, or like actually it was kind of a recliner like this, but really wide. And I just grabbed my guitar and I'm just like, I just started playing three notes and basically just talking to God.
Hmm.
Um, and I hit my voice memo because I was like, well, sometimes cool things come out of this. So I'm just telling God, I really need my inspiration back.
Mm.
you know, because um, I remembered being a 17-year-old kid, so excited about music. I'd play coffee shops for 10 people, and I was just like, this is the best,
Wow. Yeah,
super.
17? My
Yeah,
goodness.
yeah. And I like get paid $100 to go play somewhere, and I'm like, see, I have made it. I have made it as a musician. And so, but it kind of starts to become about business
Mhm.
after a while, and it just I was just at a discouraged place because it's like I'm spending all this time trying to pursue music. I was going to school for music. I was working to finance my music. I was sending out lots of emails trying to book gigs and stuff and feeling really alone in that. And so I was like, God, I need to hear the music again.
Mhm.
And so yeah, I wrote the song. It didn't all come out at once. Like I have probably, I don't know, 12 to 15 voice memos of this song because like the big like
Oh.
inspiration came at that moment, and then I spent about, I don't know, 7 or 8 months just like
Mhm.
tweaking little things here and there because
Mhm.
yeah, when it comes to songwriting, I'm not gonna say I'm a perfectionist, but I do like to get things as good as I can get them. So, but yeah, that's what the song's about, and that's kind of a lot of what my music is about in general. Is sometimes in order to go forward, we have to go back to that place of being childlike and
Mm.
um,
Yeah.
yeah.
I love that reminder.
Thank you. Yeah, I
Thank
think there's
you.
a difference between hope and optimism. And hope is what you have as an adult when you've
Mm.
went through some things, but you
Mhm.
realize you're going to be okay.
Mhm.
So anyway,
I love that.
thank you.
Thank you for that note of hope and for sharing, because that's a vulnerable place to be, to feel like you've got to go back and capture that. And sometimes it takes sitting by ourselves
Hmm.
to, sometimes I think busyness is not a good way to live because we can get distracted from ourselves.
Hmm.
I want to thank you for being on today.
Yeah.
And thank y'all for joining us in our little corner of the music world. And I'm so grateful. And please give a big round of applause for Cassia being here and sharing her heart and her hope. And go check out all of her music. And we're going to let her play us on out.
Thank you, Julie, for having me on.
Absolutely.
And this is fun. This is like we should do this, every other Friday
Okay, we'll
with
do
the
it.
with the song,
We'll do it.
Yeah.
I love it. Okay, just remember you said that.
Okay.
I
All
mean,
right.
I
We're
think the
booked
cameras
out.
are
Yeah.
still rolling, so they do
Oh
have
no, it just
evidence.
caught that.
They do have evidence.
It's crowded in my thoughts. 12 years of twisting plots. Feels like it's been so long since I found much of anything. I've been playing hide and seek with the harmonies. I used to believe a song could change everything. Lately I don't know what I'm doing. So could you play me the melody again? I wanna hear the music. I wanna hear the music. The spark of wonder I once knew. Let me hear the. I'm listening for the faintest traces of melodies and arrangements that used to be so sweet I could taste it. Seems so foreign to me. Lighthouse was a mirage, cold feet and unresolved chords that never built a song. I've held out, now I'm just holding on. I wanna hear the music. I wanna hear the music. the spark of wonder I once knew. Let me hear the I just thought by now I'd be further than this. This spring in my step has turned into a limp. I see the other side, but I can't find the bridge. And I wanna hold on to what I knew, but it's not there. Will you play me some new music? Will you sing me a new song? Take it one step at a time. Give me the 1, 4, 5. Oh, take it one step at a time. Give me the 1, 4, 5. Did it, did it, did it do? Hey, hey, hey. Ooh, 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 ooh. I'll take it one step at a time. Thank you.
Love that. Love the line with the bridge in it.
Thank you.
Ah,
Thank
I mean, the
you.
whole song's great. And give me that 1, 4, 5.
Yeah, thank you.
And I can't see the bridge. I was like, I love that double meaning.
For some reason, I knew I was like, that's the line she's gonna like. That's so funny. But it's because we've been writing together. Like, yeah,
I was
Julie's
like,
gonna
that's
this
so
line.
cool.
That's so. Thank you.
That's
Thank
beautiful.
you.
Thank you. And I love the story behind it. And then I love the song. And I could just picture you sitting there
Thank
and
you.
thinking that. So
Yeah.
thanks
Thank
for
you
being
so
here.
much.
You're
Appreciate that.
awesome.
Thank you.